Let's talk about audacity. In the face of what may seem out of the question, impossible and unreasonable, audacity seems to be the key to unlocking favorable outcomes. Many people take the word audacity with negative connotation, but allow me to add new perspective. Audacity is not a blind act of courage. In fact, it is the accumulation of information, the assessment of situations, in addition to your willingness and boldness to address authority. Let's take a look at a few examples. In the days of old, knights were admired for their audacity, addressing fearless leaders, warriors on the battlefield, leading their troops and nations into victory. The Wright brothers, known for their significant contributions to aviation, had the audacity to address gravity, friction, and weight, propelling the world into an age of flight, connecting people and places like never before, building a profound impact on global communication and commerce. This leads me to the question that I would like to ask you today. Do you have the audacity to address climate change? Are you willing to be a knight? Are you ready to take flight? In the most recent years, I made a decision to further my education by obtaining my master's degree in business administration. In this time, I studied environmental sustainability, focusing on the responsibilities associated with government regulations and organizational structure. This is where I was introduced to climate change. The implications of ecosystems being destroyed, food and water security, health risks, and economic consequences launched me into action. I developed a framework called P.I.I. P.I.I. And no, it's not personally identifiable information. It is your perspective, your insight, and your imagination. These three components are directly connected to your psychological construct. No matter how smart or similar our backgrounds may be, we are possessing of unique aspects and rituals that allow contributions to the world. The idea is to point and direct every attribute and ability that you possess to a relevant target, goal, or objective. For us, that's climate change. Allow me to share with you a piece of my pie, a piece of my perspective, my insight, and my imagination. From my perspective, I've identified high level of dissonance surrounding climate change, conservation, and environmental sustainability. With over 70% of the United States supporting climate change initiatives, it has been reported that our actions communicate a conflicting message to our beliefs. From my insight, I've learned and worked to support environmental sustainability within multi-billion-dollar corporations. And although they do have policies and procedures in place, the real level of accountability is very low. Studies show that in 2017, only 100 companies worldwide was responsible for over 70% of the world's total emissions. But note this, with over 300 million businesses worldwide, this fraction of 100 companies expresses the significant impact that these organizations have on climate change alone. Let's shift and dive into the imagination, where innovation takes place, where creativity sponsors advancement. Take a look at the telephone, CD player, and the Polaroid camera. Think about the computer and the advancement of the internet, and now even artificial intelligence, and how they all have been condensed down into something we can fit into our own pockets. As a society, we have proven to be capable of making big issues shrink. This did not come by way of waiting, but creating opportunities. Possessing what seemed impossible, daunting, and difficult, yet held the potential of catapulting the world into a new era. So, my question still stands. Do you have the audacity to address climate change? Because the battles we refuse to fight today, our children will have to fight tomorrow. Our inability to confront authorities relevant to climate change, whether in government organizations, businesses, or practical behaviors, will become the barriers and limitations that we create obstacles and challenges for our next generation. From your perspective, your insight, and your imagination, with your willingness and boldness, with every attribute and ability that you possess, you have the power to change generations to come. Right now is the time to unload, unpack, unlock, and unveil your unique resource to the world. Your piece of the pie, your perspective, your insight, and imagination can only be provided by you. So take the initiative. Be intentional, empowering others through action, and let your pie feed the ambition of others all around the world. Thank you for your time.